Tú peras y tú peras today on Doop by the River. You already know what we're about to talk about. We're going to recap and react to Saturday's MLS Cup heartbreaking loss to LAFC. And don't you dare go anywhere, guys. You do not want to miss this episode of Doop by the River. Let's get it started, guys. Doop by the River.
Doesn't do anything well. There is not one.
I'm sorry. There was no creativity.
As a Union fan, I take that all day.
Another DP. We need to go get Mario Balotelli. And that is right. Welcome, everyone, to Doop by the River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union. And, of course, we are brought to you by Philly Sports Network. Before we dive into today's episode of Doop by the River, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome everybody who's watching us live. We are live right now on YouTube, on Ed Barcelo Philly's YouTube channel. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe for your future viewings of Doop by the River. And, of course, you can find this podcast wherever you stream podcasts. Find us under Doop by the River Podcast. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you my host today. Please welcome back here today. I can't wait to get his thoughts on Saturday. Zach Labasso's back. Zach, how you feeling, man?
I'm good. You know, got over the loss. Now kind of digesting the U.S. MNT roster that just came out.
I'm sure you have, man.
And you know, getting ready for the World Cup that starts in 11 days.
What is that? I don't know what this World Cup you speak of. I don't follow with you.
I am quite excited to start watching 3 to 4 matches every single day. It's gonna be great. Yes, it's a good time. It's getting cold though, which sucks, but you know.
Yeah,
okay.
dude. Yeah, man. You can't play too much soccer in the cold, man.
No,
you can.
Tell that to the lads who are out Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:00 at night training.
Hey now.
Where I have
there
to
we
coach.
Go. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Justin, U.S. MNT Couch Keeper Friedberg. Justin, my man. I can't wait to talk about Saturday. But how you feeling, brother?
Yeah, you know, I'm hanging in there. You know, it was a rough night, as we call in Philly sports, Bloody Saturday. It was yeah, you know, watching that game down in South Carolina, I had the entire golf trip. Everyone was glued to the TV, you know, which was a first, and I know the ratings show that, you know, the MLS Cup final was one of the most watched. You know, a few days to process it and, you know, pick out the, you know, the highlights and obviously some of the lowlights. And as Zach said, you know, the U.S. MNT roster came out. We talked about, yeah, whatever Greg Berhalter's thinking. And, you know, yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't wait to watch, you know, a few days, you know, 3 to 4 games a day for a few weeks. And, you know me, I can't get enough soccer. So, it's my time of year.
It definitely is, man. It definitely is. So my goal this World Cup, it's obviously I'll root for the U.S. men's national team. I'm with you guys, and I'll also be rooting against any team that plays Brazil. I'm sorry, Zach, but that's just the way.
Give me the Jogo Bonito football this November. That's all I want in my life. I know the U.S. isn't winning. I want Brazil or Argentina. One of those two. They can take the title, and I'll be happy.
Seems like it's Argentina's to lose.
I mean, based on FIFA's simulation, it's what is it? Argentina's supposed to win, I believe. They've been right.
Yeah, they've gotten the last 3 right, so we'll see.
And that also means that the U.S. will make it to the quarterfinals.
Yes, yeah, they will. Which I don't necessarily agree with that, but.
That's crazy. I mean, we lose this game on Saturday. Now we got to go into World Cup. Like, how do we digest this? But hey, we're gonna try our best, gentlemen. We're definitely try our best. So, obviously, listen, I don't understand what is more important, what's more dying right now in Union versus we always call it, than the MLS Cup loss on Saturday. So, I just really want to dedicate this episode to just not only the 3 of us here, but you know, people who are listening to kind of just let it all out, right? Let's just let it all out. Let's move forward because, you know, we're going to be moving very fast this MLS calendar, guys. We're going to get back there. I'm going to throw this to Zach and to Justin, but I just want to put this out there for everyone first to think about. I understand that there's a lot of emotions that are still riding from Saturday, and I do get it. I'm a fan like with you guys as well. But I do think that what we need to keep in mind is you need to be so proud of these guys what they did on Saturday helped the MLS Cup. These games, let's be honest, guys, were not entertaining. I'm sorry. MLS Cup has not been entertaining for a while. This match, even if we weren't Union fans or LAFC fans, you were on the edge of your seat. There was drama. There was parody. Gareth Bale, Champions League legend, comes in and makes a big play. Just the gut wrenching stuff. Daniel Gazza, the season they had to blow in the penalty shootout. Jack Elliott met minutes away from winning MVP of the MLS Cup, and that happened. And so, with all that being said, think about where we came from literally 5 years ago. Just look 5 years ago to where we're at now. I was upset about Saturday. I had to give my girl a long hug and a kiss. And I looked at the TV and I said, it is what it is. I was so proud of these guys. And I want to start off with, obviously, let's just give a real raw emotions here. Zach, man, we haven't talked to you in a while, brother, man. Saturday, what was your takeaway? What was your real raw reaction from Saturday's loss?
I just kept saying Gareth effing Bale, dude. That was my because I'm looking up the stat now, but Gareth Bale's played in a lot of finals in his career, and if he hasn't scored in all of them, he's scored in pretty much close to all of them. And when this guy came, he came in, and I was like, it just seems like Destin, the guy's not played much, but it just seems like if anyone's gonna score to win or to tie the game, it would have been him, and it turned out to be him. And it comes back to everyone was talking about LA, even us on the show, you can't buy a championship, it's not gonna work, they're not gonna mesh enough. But when you have a guy who's scored bicycle kicks in Champions League finals, you don't need him to play that much. You need him to come on, score a crazy goal, and kind of crush some dreams. And I think that goal compounded with Gazdag slipping, because if Gazdag doesn't slip, he scores his pen. I will bet every penny I have in the bank that if Gazdag does not slip, he scores that pen. So I think that Gareth Bale goal was super deflating for the Union, because you have it in the bank. I saw tweets where reporters were saying we were told to get ready to go on the field and Jack Elliott was going to be the MVP. Because there was 70 seconds left in the match when Bale scored. So I think that was super deflating for the guys. And then going into PKs, your best PK taker goes first and he slips. And I can't hold it against Gazdag. People slip sometimes. Ask Steven Gerrard. He'll never live it down. It's just an unfortunate turn of events. And I was just kind of I felt the deflation that the guys felt. I wasn't distraught or super emotional, but I was just I felt heavy. I was man, it was right there. And this man bunned Welshman who's going to ruin the national team dreams of the U.S. too. I know he is, because that's just the guy he is. Comes in and scores a freakishly athletic Gareth Bale-esque header to send the game to PKs. And props to John McCarthy, who had a worldy of a performance. To be fair, neither penalty he saved was very good, but he still saved them. So, I mean, that's huge for a goalkeeper. You go the right way, you keep it out of the net, you do your job. So, I mean, props to him.
That's the drama, Zach. That's the drama.
Yeah, it does. And I'm sure it's bittersweet for Jim and all that stuff, because John's a great guy from what I understand, and you're happy for him, but at the same time, you just lost that final. So it's a really tough spot, but to get there and to break all the records the Union did, it was still a great season, even without a trophy.
Zach, Gareth Bale is supposed to do this to Juventus in the Champions League final.
Yeah, dude, trust me, I know. I've seen him do it so many times. I've watched this man take a 60-yard touch around Mark Bartra, who pushes him out of bounds, and he still beats him to the ball and then scores in the Copa del Rey final. I don't know, man. He's probably the second most clutch player of all time behind Cristiano. So it's a tough scene.
And Zach, we always have to keep in mind, listen, we talked about the TV numbers. There was a lot of Philadelphia fans who were the casual fan, the 4-for-4s
It
who
was like
had some
four. It
interest.
was like 4-something million, right? That was like what I
Dude,
saw. It was like
we killed it. We
yeah.
absolutely killed it. So for those fans who look at that and like, how do you let that happen? Like, you got to understand, guys, that moment to me felt very equivalent to Kawhi Leonard hitting that last second shot. It really
No,
felt
honestly,
like that for me.
I feel you there. I feel you there. That's a very good comparison. That's a very good comparison because it just like it takes the air out of everything that just how. I mean, how I see now the Kawhi one I think is a little more lucky than the Gareth Bale one, but yeah, it's still like how does this? What are the odds that this happens? Like, but I mean, it was an awesome match. Like if you were a neutral, like you were like you said on the edge of your seat the whole time, like it was awesome. It was awesome.
Also didn't help that the Phillies lost that night too, but we're not going to talk about that. Justin,
that was the thing though. So that was my thing. I was like, the Union have to win this because after the no hitter, I was like, there's no way the Phillies win the World Series. There's no chance. You don't get no hit in the World Series and then win the thing. So the Union have to win. And then when they lost, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a rough. But then the chicken guy ate the chicken on the pier. So the city did get a win there, I guess.
There you go. Real quick before we get to Justin's thoughts, I want to say hello to some of the guys in the chat. Ryan. I mean, we're as good as we can be, right? We got to move forward here. It definitely sucks. Jonathan, man, listen, you guys, especially Shoulder to Shoulder podcast, bunch of class acts. For the most part, LAFC were class act. We'll get to the group of fans that we'll want to talk about in just a little bit. But Jonathan, congratulations to you guys. Very well deserved. Best match ever. Yeah, we can say that easily. We can absolutely say that. Ivan, what's going on, brother? I'm so gutted about the loss on Saturday. That Bale goal will haunt me for a long time. You and me both, my man. We were so close to glory and came up short, but I'm so proud of this team. What an incredible season. And that is the correct take right there, guys. I hear they wheeled out the championship gear boxes to Philly bench, then had to take them away.
Yikes.
So they'll be donated, where all them go. Yeah.
I think the worst part for me too about the Bale goal is I've always loved Bale so much, and for him to just go in and break my heart like that, like
I would have never seen that happening even like 5 years ago. Bale killing my dreams.
The Union make it to the MLS Cup final, and Gareth Bale's the one that scores the tying goal in the 127th minute. What do you think what do you think the odds are you take that when you're a 5 years ago Union fan?
We really quick have to say a big hello to Kevin Chobelu. SKC Fan TV now changing to Kevin. What's up, Kevin? What's happening, man? We appreciate you coming in here, brother. I know Kevin probably wants to talk some World Cup. You know, he's excited for his Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina, man. My second favorite. I should say my third favorite team. My third favorite team this World Cup.
You see, Kevin knows, like Colombia and Argentina, like it's a rivalry for 90 minutes, but there's nothing but respect for both sides off the pitch. So, well, I'll be rooting for Argentina. But Justin, I'm dying. Listen, I'm dying to know. I've been waiting for you to get back to South Carolina, brother, because I really want to know how you feel about this, man. Because, dude, you wear your heart on your sleeve, and I want to hear it, brother.
Yeah. So there was a lot of lead up to the day of like where we were going to watch the game. You know, what could we find a bar that would play? And we're like, you know what? Let's just watch it at the hotel. Like we'll go down to the pool afterwards. No big deal. And I made myself a Jack and an Arnold Palmer, which is a great combo, by the way. If you never tried it, it's amazing. And I had my drink ready and kick off. And man, from the start, whatever alcohol I had was sweated out. I was nervous from the get-go. Honestly, like it was so much up and down. The unfortunate free kick, and I'll come back to the unfortunate thread that ties all three goals together. Unfortunate for Jack McGlynn. I mean, man, like that is the worst of luck to be a homegrown young kid, and that ball takes the wicket of this deflection right off of you. Like, I can't imagine. And then,
Justin, can I ask you something real quick about that point? You cool with Jack on that wall?
I I think like I don't blame him
Okay.
for that. Like
I just don't think Jack should be in the wall to begin
yeah,
with.
I
That's
don't.
the thing.
That's why I
I
felt
think
though.
if he's not in the wall, I think Andre makes that save. Like I don't think it was necessarily a tough free kick. I just think, yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. It happens that like it. It happens. I really can't fault Jack for that. Again that we saw that in against Club America on the road. Where that ball, where the first goal that Club America scores is off of the wicket of deflections. Like that shit happens. Like it's an unfortunate part, but you know what? I mean, we were the benefit of it against NYCFC in June. Like that shit happens. So I really can't fault Jack for that at all.
Absolutely, man. Daniel, that's taking it too far, man. That's taking it that double doink. Listen,
No.
I'm no Bears fan, but that's gotta hurt, my man.
No,
Really.
I know the Bears shot to the double doink.
What's up, Defiling Conte? What's happening, man?
Poor Conte not going to the World Cup. So sad.
Dude, a lot of injured guys out there.
I
man.
really hope Mane goes. I know there's been like mixed reports on whether he's out indefinitely or if he's not. I think he's gonna go, but like that would suck for Senegal because I think Senegal could do some damage if he's
Yeah, man.
there.
Absolutely, Kevin. Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. Show, man. It's nothing but love with Argentina and Colombia. Guys, I want to talk about the final minutes of the match, and I meant by extra time. So obviously you had the 116-minute, foul by Crapo on Corey Burke, and holy crap, that leg injury. I don't think that's been talked about a lot. That was disgusting.
Yep.
And then of course that was big because obviously not only does Crapo get hurt and he has to leave the match, he gets stretched off, but they're now down to 10 men, and Corey has to come off. And interesting decision, Jim decides to go with Chris Donovan, which I want to get your guys' opinion on about that as well. I feel like Quinn should have came out. But then you get the Jack Elliott goal, which you're obviously it was weird because it kind of deflect off of Julian Carranza didn't kick the ball good enough, and it deflected, and Jack was in the right place at the right time for that goal. And then literally 7 minutes later, it's the Gareth Bale goal that we all have seen. And then of course you get into to the penalty shootouts, and we'll get into that part of it. But just those final minutes there, guys. I mean, what was the emotion? What was your thought? Any of those tactical things or any of those decisions by Jim? What did you agree or disagree with? Justin, you start on this one, man.
Listen, I think when it came to the Corey Burke, I mean that was dog. So we talked about it. Red card, nasty injury. I think Chris Donovan was a like for like substitution. I agreed with that. I think that was the right call. Listen, John McCarthy makes a great save, and Jack Elliott cleans that up, and it was a great finishing up. I will fully admit there were several moments that I was just ugly crying for various reasons in that whole stretch. You're riding high. You're like, oh my God. And then, and the thread that I mentioned that ties all three goals together, Jose El Brujo Martinez. He was at some point at fault for all three goals. And on that third one, he's trying to do too much. He plays with it. Ball cuts recycled back in. I think to point Kevin's, I think it's very unlucky. I don't really call it a collapse. I mean, it's one of those. Does the outside back foul Palacios as he's making that overlapping run? Does he try to force him out of bounds? Is Jack Elliott in a bad position? Does Andre Blake make that save when he made that save against Alexander Collins in the East Conference Final? It's a lot of what ifs. I mean, the only person I really blame again is El Brujo because his play kind of kicked off everything, and he had a terrible game. I will say he had one of the worst games I've seen from him.
Yeah, man.
Second worst behind Revs in 2020.
Exactly. Like I think it had shades of that game. And listen, with PKs, you guys, like, I mean, exactly. That ball was going in top shelf. There was nothing John McCarthy was going to do about that one. And I think if that one goes in, I think that the tide turns. And I'm also maybe not sure.
We're winning at that point. We're winning at that point.
I think I'm not even sure then if El Brujo takes that one, like second one. Like,
no, I think he does. I think he does. I think the order was already set.
I mean, who knows? But I also think, yeah, it would have definitely changed momentum because Andre had made the save to start. And, he did guess right on a couple of them. So which also was, some of them were just smashed in. Like, I think there was no chance of those. Listen, when it came to the end of the game, yeah, I was shedding tears. Yeah, it was a lot, I think, but I think it was partially slight disappointment, that we lost, but also just insanely fucking proud of how far this team pushed the best team in the league. Like, despite the fact that the Union were the number 1 seed in the East, this game, no one gave the Union a shot in this game. They had already written LAFC, on the trophy way before this game had started. And the Union fought tooth and nail in this game. This was one of the best performances as a team that I have seen. And you know what? It doesn't suck that we lost. Yeah. It would be stupid and foolhardy to say that losing that close to the end when you were, not even just over 60 seconds from winning the trophy. Yeah, it fucking sucks. It is a dagger in the heart. But you know what? I know what this team is capable of. I know this team will retool for next year. And I know they are just as capable of making another run. And it's why as much as it is disappointing, I also know that we can be right back in this spot next year. Like, maybe we're talking about a completely different result. We get about the Union hosting MLS Cup final. So I think why there's a lot of emotions, and yes, a lot of good and bad tears were shed during that time. Mm-hmm. I honestly, considering how this team won a trophy. Like, they are the Eastern Conference champs. So they do have a trophy. And you know what? The fact that I said this, you won 2 trophies in 3 years with this squad. If you've like me been a fan since the very beginning and dealt with a lot of bullshit from the very beginning
things ever.
Exactly. Like, there's been a lot of crap with this team. And I've said this. I said it from last week. No matter the result, I was fucking proud of this team because this team is the best in Union history. Full stop. 100%. Yeah. Full stop. Best team in Union history.
Real quick onto the penalties. And it's so funny here because I literally wrote like Gazdag, OMG, El Brujo, WTF, and then Wagner, LOL. But I kind of felt like after that Bale goal, I really did find it tough for us to keep that get that momentum in the penalty shootout.
Yeah.
Now, listen, Blake is known to stop penalties. I mean, let's remember Nashville last year, right? So, like, that to me was no surprise. But then once Gazdak went up there and missed that,
I didn't think we had a chance after that.
My first thought was, especially at the Bale goal, was like, oh no, that I have a bad feeling.
Yeah.
And then when Gazdag misses, I was like,
yeah,
oh fuck. My immediate thought was, fuck. That was our advantage. That was our advantage. Yeah. That was it. Like, that was the moment I went, oh.
Because if your goalie saves one, does his job. That's it. Yeah. All you gotta do is score. You gotta score 5. That's it.
Yeah.
Then you win. If your goalie saves one, you just gotta score. And like,
you just gotta put it on net. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair to Brujo and Kai, they did put it on net. They were just very poor penalties.
Dude, what was the hesitation by Brujo? What does he think he is?
I don't know.
That was legitimately Neymar. That's Neymar's run up. Neymar doesn't stop like that. Honestly, and my friend and I were talking about
each other.
If he made that, I think they would have made him retake it. Because I think he fully stopped.
Well, it was very Jorginho-esque kind of a stop-start run-up. But I hate those run-ups.
Joseph does it all the time too. Right?
It's so stupid. I hate that kind of run-up.
Just go and take
Unless
a
you're
shot,
really
man.
good at pens. Like
Yeah, but
Neymar's
even so,
allowed to
it's-
do it because he never misses pens.
I mean that is true, but I think listen. So the discussion was the selection and the lack of forwards. You really put yourself in a tough spot with Ure. You sub him than Corey Burke. So that's 2 forwards already down. The one that I did question was Chris Donovan going instead of Quinn Sullivan. Now the whole discussion of the homegrowns and the minutes that they've played. That's a topic for another day. It was good seeing Paxton in there, but I just don't get how, Quinn's shown you talent before. He's shown you promise before. Like, that's the moment I would have put him in there. Now, would he be able to take a shot? That I don't know. We've talked about it
I
off
would
the
have
air.
let Quinn take one. I would have let
Yeah,
Quinn take one.
I would have too. I would have rather had Quinn out there over El Brujo or over Kai.
I agree.
Julian should have been in there at some point.
I just think, like Justin said, like Donovan was a profile sub for Burke, because they're built this. I mean, obviously
Same.
Corey's
I
like
feel
way
that.
bigger, but like
But they're built. They're the same.
they're both
type of
big,
striker.
burly forwards who can like disrupt the back line, and like you can cross balls into them. I think that's why he subbed on Donovan. But like it just sucked that you didn't have your dogs in there. Like you didn't have Jack McGlynn, who's got ice in his veins. Like we know he's got ice in his veins. We've seen it before. You didn't have Quinn, who I would absolutely let take a penalty. You didn't have Ua, who I would let take a penalty. Like, honestly, even if like Nate Harriel was in, I'd let Nate take a penalty.
I don't know if I let Nate take the penalty.
I think
over-
I'd let Nate.
I would.
I'd let Nate take a penalty. All the homegrowns just seem like they're so calm. Besides Paxton, but that's because like Paxton plays like very like chaotically. But like the other ones seem like smooth and calm. Like I don't know. It takes a certain personality to be like, you could be a horrible footballer, but you could be the best PK taker in the world.
I think,
Or you could be the
it's very
best-
mental.
Or you could be the best.
footballer
Like, look at Messi.
and the worst
Messi's
PK
not good
taker.
at penalty kicks. Messi makes like 72% of his PKs.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Like that's
a
not
goat.
good. And that is the GOAT. Yeah, that's the GOAT.
It
Like-
takes a special person to be able to, because like people are like, oh, it's easy, it's all on the forward. It's like on the goalie. It's like, well, no, it's all on the forward.
Because you're expected to make it. You're expected to score. Like
Exactly.
Like Balotelli, to this day, is renowned as one of the best penalty kick takers ever. Was he a baller when he was like at the top of his game?
You
Yeah,
let Biza take a
but, like,
PK?
I would not let Bison
Yeah.
take a PK.
I don't know about that.
I would not. I would not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd probably let him take one over Brujo though.
I would
Especially
let
the
him.
thing is,
Brujo,
I would let
Brujo had a
Andre
bad
Blake
match.
take it.
Put him in there.
Brujo would have been the last one. Donovan would have been before Brujo.
Even-
Andre would have been
yeah.
before Brujo.
I would think Jim
Leon
Burton did.
Leon Flock would have been before Brujo. Like,
Oh my God, it's the last person. I'm
No,
gonna take a
I genuinely think
shot.
there's like everyone on the roster before El Brujo. I just
Wow.
I just, as soon as I saw him
I
walking up, I
totally
went.
agree. I totally agree.
I went up as soon as I
That's
saw him
crazy,
walking
guys.
up, and I went, "Oh no!" Like
yeah,
I
I agree, Justin. It was not a moment of confidence for me.
no.
See, like if we're talking Cincinnati, right? If that match goes into a penalty shootout, I'm letting Brujo take a shot because he felt
still
it at
not.
that point.
I'm still not
no,
letting
nope.
him take a shot.
Nope.
I don't
not
trust
letting
him.
him
There's
do
no
any of
chance.
that.
I don't trust
There's
him.
no chance.
I don't either.
You'd really take Nate over Mbizo.
Yes.
I think
Absolutely.
these guys definitely would.
Absolutely. For a
Now listen.
PK?
For
Absolutely.
PK, yes.
All right. I really want to. I've really been dying to talk about this next topic here about the finals, and Zach talked about it too as well. And I really want to hear his thought. The Union and choking. Did the Philadelphia Union choke? Now, Zach, you seem to feel like they did choke. Why?
No,
is that?
I'm a yes and no. I'm a yes and no.
What? What is this?
Because no, listen. I have a
You can't get chocolate. This ain't no twist custard, bro.
It's always twist. All right. Listen, okay. Did the Union inherently choke? Yes. But they were already lucky to be winning 3-2 anyway, because LAFC already choked 3 times. Three times LAFC choked in that game. So, like, I just think saying that the Union choked the final is a bit disingenuous to how the final actually went. Because if anyone choked, it was LAFC and they climbed out of the hole. LAFC was at home. If the Union were at home and this happened, yeah, choke. Absolutely, 100% choke. Like if they were on the same side, like LAFC was up 1-0, up 2-1, and then the Union were up 3-2 with 6 minutes left, and they choked. Yeah, and they conceded. Yeah, they choked at home, 100%. But when you have a hostile crowd, you have the most expensive team in MLS. You have a 6-time Champions League winner in Gareth Bale. You have Carlos Vela. You have Chicho Arango. You have Bouanga. You have Cifuentes. You have all these dudes who are ballers. You have Apoku too. I forgot about him. Another baller. I don't think you can
Chico
say
Arango
they
yet?
choked. What was that?
You Chico Arango as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you can say they choked. Like, I genuinely don't think you can say that, because choking would imply that they should have won. And I don't think they should have won that game.
Okay. Justin, I know I know exactly how you feel about this, but kind of answer to those people who do say that you need to choke.
No, they didn't like.
That's it. No.
I mean, Zach's right. Think about it. LAFC were up 1-0, 2-1. Yeah, the Union were up 3-2, but you know what? The Union, like, despite being the first seed, had like all the odds stacked against them in that. Yeah, hostile crowd, the most expensive roster, a whole bunch of homegrowns, and like you said, in that first half, you have that free kick, and you're like, any other Union team would have been like, oh no, the wheels would have fell off, and it should have gone sideways, and it would have been But you know what? They fought back in every instance when they shouldn't have been able to. They fought back. LAFC were on the back foot for a good stretch of that game, despite being up twice. And yeah, were there some moments that cost goals? Yes, but you know what? I feel like LAFC nearly bottled the game more than the Union did, because, as Zach said, the Union had no right winning that game in every circumstance, everything, every ounce, every situation, every moment of that game was saying that LAFC should have won. And the fact that the Union pushed it that far, I mean, that just shows how how the Moneyball versus the Galacticos strategies can push each other to the brink.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Justin, it's crazy. If you don't even look at the Gareth Bale goal, like, think about Jack Elliott with the 2 goals, like a center back almost beat LAFC. Yeah, that's kind of the way I look. But that to me, it is freaking wild. But I think when I look at this discussion, guys, I think people have misconstrued is the definition of a choke. When I think of a choke job in sports, I look at the Atlanta Falcons, right? 20-3. How do you blow that lead?
They should have won that game.
I look at the Boston Bruins. Remember Boston Bruins back in 2010? Flyers should have never came back down 3-0, right?
What about Golden State against the Cavs?
That's where I was gonna go right next. Zach's already reading my mind. Dude, those are chokes. What the Union did, dude, either the Union or LAFC could have won that match. It was one match. That's it. It was win or go home. Anyone could have won. Both these teams are obviously pretty close to as far as talent goes. So to me, I can't look at that as a choke job. And like we obviously the narrative here today, we're extremely proud of this team. They gave it their all. And like Zach said, Gareth Bale does this in his sleep. All right,
He does
big
it.
games.
He just does it, dude. He's the
Listen, I think
second most questionable.
that man bun's stretched too tight. And maybe he at this point maybe some of those hairs again. I think Gareth Bald's he's a bald denier. I think that man
Dude,
bun.
he was looking pretty gray. He was looking pretty gray.
Oh
Pretty
snap!
gray and hair
Oh,
looking
snap.
pretty thin. That man bun pulled
Oh,
too tight, man.
snap.
It's starting to pull.
I'm just really
hair back.
hoping that was his last like big goal that he scores, so he doesn't ruin my November.
Nah, he's gonna go to like Japan or guitar.
No. That's fine, but like you just can't do it for Wales in like a week.
Do you
Yeah,
imagine?
that's the
Dude,
last
can
big
you
goal never
imagine
scored.
that?
No, if he scored, no. Listen, if the U.S. and Wales are like, if the U.S. is winning like 2-1 and Gareth Bale scores like a free kick in the 92nd minute, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You have to hate Gareth Bale for the rest of your life.
No, but I can't because
That's
I
Zach.
love him. I remember one of his most iconic goals. I came back from school and Tottenham was playing West Ham, and he cuts in on his left foot after getting fouled, and the ref doesn't call it, and bangs one top corner in like the 92nd minute. I was like, this dude is just different. I love this guy, and ever since I've loved Gareth Bale, and I can't hate him, but like like part of me is like, you have to hate him, you have to. But like,
Absolutely, man.
I can't. It's so difficult. It's this sport, man. It's this sport.
As soon as El Brujo stepped up, everyone around me at the Sioux was either sing or got silent.
Which is so funny because, like, if fans rate him that highly, they should have had no problem with him taking a pen. Now, like, I don't know if the Brujo lovers were like, yeah, I'm glad he's taking a pen. But, like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Kevin Cho goes, if he starts, Bale won't play well. Bale off the bench, scary.
I agree, Kev, but I also think Bale for Wales, even when he starts, is just a totally different animal. Like, I think he like goes into a cryo chamber, like that picture of Goku, and like just gets ready to go. When he goes to Wales, and I just think he's one of the most dangerous players on the planet when he plays for Wales. Like, I genuinely believe that. It's scary, and I'm so sad he's in our group.
And this is the thing here, Jonathan. Look,
All right, but hold on. They got Gareth Bale on a TAM deal, which, like, fair play. He took less money, fair play. But you know what? Gareth Bale's probably worth like $30 million on the market right now. So we're gonna say they're the most expensive roster in MLS.
They're one of the most valuable rosters.
that's good business though by LAFC.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I have nothing against LAFC. Like, nothing.
Same.
Like, they did what they did. Players want to play in LA. There's nothing we can do about that. Like, it's just the nature of American sports. It's the same thing with basketball, same thing with football. Like, players want to play in big markets. It's the reason why the Sixers had trouble recruiting stars for so many years. Like, Philly, as big a media market as it is and as big a sports town as it is, like, it's not an ideal location.
You're
And
telling me
that's
that
the issue.
Wildwood doesn't attract free agents?
Yeah, but
Are you
we got
kidding me?
we got Rocky and cheese sticks. Like
We got Atlantic City, dude.
But we
beaches
don't
of
have
AC.
Atlantic
It's
City.
the Las
That's the
Vegas
problem.
of the
We
East.
don't have Atlantic City. New Jersey has Atlantic City.
That's the same. It's a
Come
Philly
on,
beach.
it's right down the 80 Expressway. Come on.
Trust me, I'm going to be down there on Saturday coaching at 8:50 in the morning. Like, I know.
I know very well.
But, like, at the same time, like, yeah.
I kind of did too. I kind of did only because I've never seen him take it, and
The
that's
love for El
probably what.
Brujo is still wild to me.
Yeah.
Like, it blows my mind.
I don't know. Man.
Very
Like,
much.
I get when people say when he plays his best, he's one of the best sixes in the league. But, like, I don't think that's a high bar. Like, I don't think there's, like, tons of good sixes in MLS.
That's
Like,
true.
like people are like, he's top 5. I'm like, all right, I think there's like 7 good ones. Like, that's not a high bar. So
yeah,
that's
Nick
my
Trotta's also
issue.
old too.
That's my issue.
I
And, like-
wanted to talk. Go ahead,
Okay.
Zach. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want to.
Zach's just ready to ship off.
I don't want to rustle any more feathers.
But I do want to ask, guys, the playoff format, that's got a lot of talk as well. We've all, like I talked about, we had a lot of new fans watching the match and watching the MLS Cup playoffs for the first time. And you always get those fans that are like, why can't this just be like in Europe at the end of the season, the most point total wins a championship?
Because
Justin,
unbalanced schedule.
But hey, hold on. If it was that way, the Union would have been MLS winners. So just putting
Justin,
that out there.
do you like the Americanized version of our soccer?
Yeah, I like it.
I mean,
the format that we have now is really good. I don't know why they want to change it.
Money.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
Don Garber,
I know why
because
they
Don
wanna change
Garber isn't greedy enough of an asshole. He wants to change it. Listen, I think it's different, but I think the system as it is now is fine. I was not a big fan of the 2 legs. I thought it dragged the playoffs on way too much and way goals. I thought it was all dumb. I was so glad when they finally moved it to 1 leg. Listen, it's. I think for what we have, it's fine. There's really no need to change it. But if we were at the European system, the Union would have been MLS champions in 2020. Like that, if we're going by that logic, the Union were MLS champions. Like
And this year, because they go by goal difference like normal people.
The win thing, like they're like, oh, but no, the schedule's always
Wins
unbalanced.
go into calculating the points. Why do you redo a tiebreaker that you already have? It doesn't make any sense.
What did they say? It was competitive balance or what? I'm like, no, it makes it more inbound. Like, why does the number of wins determine if you have the same points? Why does the number of wins matter?
It blows my mind. I couldn't believe, because I remember when I was like deciding if I thought that Union could win the Shield, I was like looking at goal difference the whole time, because that's like what every other league does in the entire world is goal difference is the first tiebreaker. So I'm like, yeah, dude, Union are killing LAFC in goal difference. Of course they can win the Shield, but no, goes by stupid wins. Stupid wins. Makes no sense to me.
But to the playoff point, guys, I mean, listen, besides the fact that the NBA, the NHL, NFL, they have great athletes and it's entertaining to watch in general, but the playoffs adds a little bit of something extra. And listen, if you want that style, if you want promotion relegation, you want a table, the winner at the end is the champion. Like, there are leagues that bring that to you. But this is American, this is soccer, and this is kind of ours. And I appreciate this. If I want to watch another option, I'll go watch Premier League. I'll go watch Bundesliga. I have what the MLS has. And listen, we wouldn't have had Saturday. Saturday was a fantastic match to watch. If you just love the sport, that was just the match for you to watch. And we would have this playoff format, guys.
So I still think at some point we should have Pro Rel, but I still think you should also have MLS Cup playoffs on top of that.
Okay.
Like
fair.
I think that's how it should go, because the awfulness at the bottom of the table should not be rewarded with a high draft pick. Like that's not how it should work.
What are those?
Yeah, we don't know what those are, but other teams definitely do, and they don't really pan. Actually, to be fair though, Jack Elliott was a draft pick, and he was going to be at MLS MVP. So
He was
Isn't that wild?
4th round. That's crazy.
That's wild.
But like MLS Cup playoffs is awesome, but like I still think you need to decentivize losing at all costs. Like there's no incentive to win besides winning. Like if you don't want to go to the next level, like be better. Like be more proactive and get new players and fire coaches and figure out how to right the ship. Like honestly, at the end of the season in the Prem, watching the bottom teams play is more exciting than watching the top teams play. Because
listen, if you want to be Crystal Palace, go be Crystal Palace. Be mediocre.
They are fighting. Exactly. They are fighting for millions and millions of dollars in revenue. Like it's awesome. And I hope at some point the league gets there while also still keeping to its roots and like having MLS Cup, because I think that's important and American and like that'll keep fans engaged. but like the fan base will grow exponentially if Louisville can get into MLS. Like that
That's
would be
crazy.
awesome. That would be so
Albuquerque
awesome.
SC.
Albuquerque, freaking Tucson, like all these awesome San Diego Royal.
Montana Yeet.
But at the same time, though, Zach, I think, and then this is where it comes into the the certain standards, like in terms of like stadiums and things.
No, of course, but the championship to the they have the same things over there. Like if you go up, your stadium has to meet the requirements, or you don't go up. Like that's the thing. So I think it's a culture where like obviously money's always king, but I think that just allowing anyone and everyone a shot at the top of the game is what makes soccer so special compared to any other sport.
Well, we're now in the off season. We can debate this in an episode this off season for sure, man. But Justin, I really wanted to ask you, man. So the penalty shootout, is that the way an MLS Cup should end if it's drawn up?
Nope. Give me the old school 35-yard. The
so still PK. So still
PK. Hey! Don't matter.
Don't matter.
Make it wild. Make it wild. Now, listen. No, I mean, I'm okay with PKs. Like, I think
I wasn't too mad at it either.
What about golden goals?
I love PKs. I love PKs.
Like gold goals to me is always stupid.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. Like playing golden goal in high school and college, it's awesome.
But
like
in the
it's
pros,
genuinely awesome. And we would have won if it was golden goal.
But in the pros, that to me that just
I agree. It's a little cheap. I agree.
Yeah, and so like PKs. I mean, I don't think there's much. I mean, maybe I don't know. I mean, we talk about 5. Do you shorten it to 3? Like, do you put a little more like the hockey style? Like, do you kind of make a little more intrigue and force a lot more decision making on the front end of it? Like, I that's the only thing I could see, but no, they're not going to change it like that.
Nah, I'm cool with pens. I've always liked PK shootouts.
Absolutely. So one more takeaway that I took away from the MLS Cup final. The Union have done a fantastic job of building this team and getting to this point with what the resources they had, and obviously the budget and just the plan that they've had all along. But we ran into, and I'm going to kind of sync this matchup to the CCL semifinal against Club America. You had opportunities to win, and you ran into a deeper squad with some proven players who have done that in those type of moments. So my question to you, gentlemen. Does the Sugarman, does he look at this now and say, we need to implement some more money? So, like, let's just say, for an example, if you're looking at a potential replacement down the line for Alejandro, for example,
you mean Eric Williamson? You mean Eric Williamson?
Hold your excitement there. Are you going to look?
Let's go with that.
Are you going to look at a $300K option, or are you going to look at someone who's north of $1 million?
I don't think you can. Like, I think this is a fool's errand thinking about, oh well, if we got a few more guys that are worth X amount of money, and like I think it's just silly. Like, you look at like Seattle Sounders, and they've built their roster off of they have a couple pieces that are worth a lot. But they also have like the Kellen Rose and the stuff from Fries who were drafted, and Jordan Morris is a homegrown. Like, I think the Union have their identity, and they have exponentially grown in the last 4 years. To say, could you get players with more experience? Yeah, I think that's easy. I don't think you have to shell out, back up the Brinks truck to do that kind of thing. And it's one of those things where I think to say that the Union need to completely rewrite the way they've built their roster and start shelling out more money. No, I think Sugarman could spend some more money. Yes, I think the Daniel Gazdag, the Mikel Uaz, you've seen the return when you spend correctly. Like I've said, $2 to $3 million buys you a championship caliber player.
Yep.
And Daniel Gazdag was just shy of $2 million. Mikel Ua was between 2 to 3.
You know
And
who else
what
is
it
2 million? You know who else is 2 million? Right now, who we could buy? Eric Williamson.
But like that's the thing, $2 to $3 million. I said for a forward buys can get you a championship, or at least get you to that game. And you know what? It got you to that game. And so I think the Union could still go out and do what they've been doing and still.
We're still
that
short
roster.
a DP, right? We only have 2 DPs, and then
And that's right.
Karan's
So
a
they
young DP.
still have that space
Young
to
DP.
put that DP if they want to get that additional person.
They should.
But I think
A
to
center
say
midfielder.
that they need to kind of rewrite a big part of their policy, I completely disagree with.
I don't think they should rewrite it, but just up the budget a little bit. That's all.
I mean, I think that so it's funny because I think Sugarman seeing them get to the final makes him actually tighten the purse strings a little bit.
Like I think you look at
Like I think he's like, oh, we
what
got
we
there. I don't
have.
really actually have to spend that much more than we've already spent.
Oh,
Like
boy.
I think that's kind of the way he's gonna look at it. But we have a lot of gams, so like just go give it to Portland, man. Like come on.
I mean,
Come on, bring him back to the
around,
East.
What, like $2 million? I think for
That's what he said. I think Tommy Bogue said between 1.5 and 2 for Williamson, and like he's an East Coast guy.
Which shouts to Tommy Bogues, who I caught up with at the SOB tailgate, the Eastern Conference Final. My man has style. I will give Tommy Bogues
And a mustache to boot.
Oh my God, I looked at him and I mean, listen, I got some great facial hair. Don't get me wrong, but I looked at him like, damn, that is a Tom Selleck
You rock
level
It's a
mustache.
powerful mustache.
of a powerful stash. Listen,
Powerful stash.
you know, Fabrizio who?
Would you rock
True.
the sash, Justin?
I could. I mean, I thought about it for if it had been if the playoffs had ended earlier. I thought about doing November, but I'm like, yeah, we're already into the month. I'm not bothering.
Yeah, I feel you on that one, man. It should be interesting, and let's real quick look at this club here as we move forward here, and I want to start off with one of Kevin's questions that really intrigued me here. Would love to see Jim in Europe. Not good for Philly, but he's a G. Absolutely, man.
I could see it in the next. I think if the Union had, I think if the Union had won, that conversation becomes a lot more.
Oh, I think he's gone. I think he goes. I think Ali retires. I think Kai, who's already going to leave.
Wait,
leaves
you
for
think
even-
Ali retires?
If
I
we,
think
no,
if they
if
won,
we had won,
yeah, I think
if we had
that's- I
won,
think that's
I
easily
think
the
Ali
case.
would have retired. If we had
Okay.
won, I think Ali would have retired. Kai would have left. Is going to leave anyway, I think, but like would have went for more. I think Brujo definitely leaves. I think. Who else? Probably. I think honestly, I think
You think? Wait, you
Gazdag-
think Brujo leaves
I still
If
think he
that's what-
leaves
that's
now,
what-
after
but
Saturday?
I still maybe
Dude,
it's just
killed his
wishful.
shot, man.
Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but like I want him to leave. I think if they won, he definitely would have been gone. And I think if they had won, the offers for Gazdag would have been pretty high, even in January. But I still think Gazdag stays until at least the summer. But like, if Gazdag has a start to the year like he did this year, like he's not staying for the season.
Yeah, especially
They're
in the
gonna
European
get like a
offseason.
10. They're gonna get like a $10 million offer for him. And you cash that, dude. You
Yeah.
could buy four. You could buy 4 players for that.
That's the thing, yeah. Like
And as much as I love, he's my guy. Since day one, he's been my guy.
Yeah, and you know what's
But, like-
crazy? You know what's crazy, guys? Real quick, is that if we were talking about like, let's just say last year didn't happen, 2021, you didn't have the COVID game, you would have won MLS Cup, and you would have won with Zach's favorite striker, and we would have been having this conversation right now.
God, that
would
makes
we
me
have
throw
though?
up.
I mean,
What'd you say, Justin?
I said, would we have though?
Yeah,
I really-
honestly,
I
I don't
really think
think
we
we.
would've.
Honestly, I don't know, man.
I think we would have beat Portland, 110%.
I
We would
don't-
beat
I-
Portland.
But who
like,
was
I
going to
would've been-
score for us? Who was going to score?
Yeah, I would have been out there, but I would have been at that game because I had flights all lined up. But like, yeah, who is scoring for
Who
us
was
there?
going to score?
Because
We're going to get
None of
another own
none of
goal?
our forwards scored. Of the 3 goals we scored, none were by a forward.
it would have just slapped Casper like in the nuts, and then just would have fell in, and that's it.
Yeah,
1-0.
honestly, that's probably how it probably would have gone.
Conte, I don't think. Listen, if Austin somehow keeps Drusy and
I
build
don't
off
think
There's
last
no
year-
way, dude.
He's
There
gone.
is
He's
no-
gone. If that
I
15
don't see it
million
happening.
from Leeds is true, he's gone.
There's
Yeah.
no way they keep him.
Good
I
for
don't
him,
even
man.
think. I think they're going to get more than 15. Like that's what he's valued at. I think Leeds is going to pay like 20, 25.
Yeah, there's no way. There is no way that if Driussi leaves, I think Austin crashes. I think Austin
Because I think Urruti also leaves and Fagund. Like their front three is so good. I could see them all gone.
Damn,
But
Urruti
if
too, man.
Driussi does leave, that I think
Unless Slifer.
I think they're still a playoff team, but I think they crash hard.
I think,
Okay.
yeah, it'll be interesting. It just all depends. Like we'll have to wait till January, which sucks because it's so far away. But
I
like,
know it is and it isn't. Like the like post World Cup is gonna like once that window opens, there are gonna be so
movement
many
galore.
activities. Like and the thing is like it's kind of like last year. Like there's such a tight window between when the season ends and when
And when-
preseason begins
yeah,
that it like we're like oh man it's gonna feel like forever. Well, the World Cup is in what just over
11
a
days.
week. Yeah, like just a week and a half. By the time that ends, Christmas break, boom, you get all the leads coming back. You have the transfer market opening up. It like is this going to come by hard and fast, and it's going to be. I mean, come New Year is a lot of things are going to be way different. to
We're
be
truly the
honest.
sport that never sleeps, man. We're nonstop, 24/7,
and honestly,
365
I love it. I would not
Yeah,
have it
man.
any other way. Like
for sure.
every time people are like, oh, there's a blow in soccer. It's like, no, there's this league and then this league and then like,
yeah. No, soccer legitimately
You ever
never
watch
ends.
Turkish second league soccer?
listen, when everything was shut down and the Bulgarian league
Oh,
and
yeah,
like some of these
dude.
leagues were the only ones. I'm like, I had people who worked with my dad who were sports bettors be like, and my dad would be like, do you know anything about like? And my dad's a soccer fan and played soccer. He's like, do you know anything about the Bulgarian or Estonian league? I'm like, no, like I love soccer and I've watched some wild leagues and some wild games, but no,
I've
I
watched
don't
some
know anything.
bad soccer. I've watched some really bad soccer.
Yeah.
David, we actually, if you are a fan of Shoulder to Shoulder, we had him on for the MLS Cup preview. Actually, we have Jonathan Reimer in the chat here, man. So we've definitely collab. We would love to collab with every podcast. We've collab with a lot of different markets, and
Man, if we could get Valeria on, she's in goalie squad, and
yeah,
she,
man.
as I heard she tweaked her knee
Again.
jumping onto the field. Yeah, per her, like listen, I heard some stuff. So yeah,
Dude.
listen, I would love if LAFC come here, man. You bet your butt. I hope some of them come over here to. That's a party I want to have.
Absolutely.
David, I think Maxime Crepeau did exactly what he needed to do.
What a
that
G,
instance.
man. That
It
was a
was-
big moment.
that-
It's
I think
exactly
if
what you have
Corey-
to do.
If Corey scores that, I
No, we
think
win
there is
because
no
there's not all that
Gareth Bale
added
goal.
time. There's not all
I
that
think-
added time.
Yeah, and there is no Gareth Bale goal. Like I think that cuts it off at the head.
Yeah, so he does
Sacrifices
exactly,
World Cup, dude.
I know, which is nuts.
He was the
Respect,
backup.
man.
He was going to be on that plane.
So
Wait, that opens the door for Dane St. Clair, though.
yeah. So yeah, I think he did exactly what he needs to do. It reminds me of like the story Valverde told. I think it was last year. I forget. I think it was La Liga, and they were playing Atletico, and they were winning like 2-1 or something, and it was like the last couple minutes of the game, and someone on Atletico was in on goal, and Valverde was like going chasing him down, and Ramos wasn't even on the team anymore. And in his head, he said that like he just heard Ramos in the back of his mind saying like kill him, bring him down. And Valverde took the red card, and they won the league. So I mean, it was worth it. What he did brought McCarthy on to save the Pens. Like, because if Crepeau's in goal, maybe we don't lose the penalty shootout. Like it all worked out. So I respect Crepeau. I do.
That was big. That was a big moment, man. Yeah, for sure. A lot of freaking respect. Yeah, El Brujo Martinez definitely gave you guys a great meme. That's for sure, man.
He gives us great memes all the time.
He is a walking meme.
He is pretty damn funny, man. I want to thank the Union for erasing that bitter defeat suffered to NYCC last year in the
They
in the
haven't.
conference
They
final.
seem to think that has never stopped the NYCFC fans. I've never seen I will never understand even Union fans who do it. Like when we win, who cares about the other teams? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, there was a
why
lot
do we
of
care so much?
NYCFC fans and even Cincy fans to a point, like crawling back in and just it's
dude,
let's
your
move on,
season's
for
been over
Christ's sake.
2 weeks. Chill out.
Yeah, there was a lot of unnecessary and there's some people from some of the fan bases just like, yo, you just need to shut up. Like
I just will never understand that side of fandom.
no,
worry about your own team, because
from
I see when the Eagles win, I see people tweeting about the Cowboys. When the Cowboys win, I see people tweeting about the. I'm like, worry about your own damn team. You guys didn't even play each other. What do you got? Who cares?
That is the rivalry, man. That is the rivalry. David, absolutely, man. That's what we're all about, man. We just want to keep growing the game, especially here in Philadelphia. And gentlemen, we did big things in Philly on Saturday. Big things. We got a lot of people watching, which is great.
Another reason to.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I don't want to end this podcast on a bad. Listen, CCL draw. It's in the worst timing possible.
No, but the CCL draw was, if you're a Union fan, you look at that, you go, "Oh my God, we were really lucky, and we could be in for a run." Really, I think they could be in for a run. Looking at that bracket,
they'll play. They're going to play Austin in the if Austin keeps the guys, they'll play Austin in the final.
I mean, it could be a Union LAFC rematch in the semis.
Can you imagine, dude?
But if Austin does not keep the guys, they'll probably play Tigres. No, is Tigres?
Which can I say? Tigres I love that we avoided Tigres. I was like, I saw that. I'm like, woo! All right, boys.
So you got Austin facing off against Violet from Haiti, LAFC versus Alajuelense from Costa Rica, Orlando City versus Tigres, the Union versus Alianza FC from El Salvador, Vancouver versus Real España of Honduras. I don't really know much about Alianza. I do know that they are the second biggest, or they had the second most championships in Salvador. They just won the Clausura there as well. So we're going to have to look for someone who, maybe a Spanish-speaking guy, but we're going to find someone who knows Alianza very well for that match. But it says here, guys, round of 16 begins March 7th to 9 for the first legs, March 4th to 16 for the second legs.
So is that before the season starts? I don't know when the schedule comes out.
Yeah, man. Finals May 31st this year.
They're really,
CCL.
it's 2 legs. I guess
because we have Leagues Cup too, right? All of June.
I could care less
July,
about the freaking
July.
Leagues Cup, man. I hate that we have to play.
Which
this
I
hate.
I
don't want it.
No, I think that's a stupid competition. You already have Champions League. There's no fucking need for this. It's another tournament to potentially get more players injured, and it's a fucking.
We could win another trophy, guys. It's another trophy.
Leagues Cup and Campeones Cup are 2 cups to me that are the dumbest fucking things on the planet.
Why are we trying to be like the Premier League with Carabao Cup and FA Cup and?
No one gives a shit about the Carabao Cup.
Who have way
Literally
deeper
nobody.
rosters. Did you see the lineups that some of the teams put out today? It was ridiculous.
I can't wait for this.
Yeah,
Dude, this is so big for our league, man.
that's gonna be nuts.
Biggest
curious,
rivalries
though,
in the Rose Bowl.
How that fan breakout's gonna be, because man.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm worried about. And we didn't even talk about that too. Can we just retire the beer throwing?
That's why you, a lot in England you can't have stuff in the stands. You can't drink in the stands.
I think we're gonna have to get to that, guys. I hate to say that. I hate being that dude, but dude, that makes us look so bad, man. On every single
and it sucks for the LAFC fans that aren't like that.
Yeah,
because people just start generalizing and it's not the way it should be. But when you throw stuff on the field, it's just such a bad look.
And what a great atmosphere too, man.
Kai was waiting 30 seconds to a minute to take that corner because they just kept raining stuff down. It's and even the ref is like one trying to get Kai to take the kick, but also like understanding that shit's being tossed on the field right at him. Like,
Yeah.
And where do y'all got the money for this? I know California beer is not cheap. That shit's probably like $20 a pop. You throwing your beer out there?
seriously, you kidding me? I wouldn't be wasting that kind of
Damn. Throw that money over here. We'll take it.
Seriously, that's a fucking waste of money throwing that kind of beer.
Oh man, it is what it is. But it was a good atmosphere, and that's definitely important because obviously we're on.
Oh no, it was a great atmosphere. Best MLS Cup I think anyone's seen in a long time.
Why are we making fun of tifos in the United States as well?
Dude, that tifo was fire.
That was wild. That was wild.
I should have said when it came out that LAFC were gonna win because you don't pull out the Goku unless you know you're winning. Like you don't pull that out unless you know.
It was sick. Very well detailed as well.
Fire, dude.
It was. Listen, as soon as I saw DBZ, I'm like, oh fuck yeah! All right, let's go. This is the game.
Jonathan, we appreciate you, man. Listen, I never thought that LAFC fans were garbage or anything like that. No, it's the sport, dude. I know what it's like, man.
It's listen. It's it's like when why the Union have a policy for cans in the river end because of what happened with NYCFC back in 2016.
It's like when the U.S. played in the Azteca, like you're getting shit thrown on them the whole
time.
Oh my God,
you know that not all the fans are bad, but it's a small subset that makes. It's the reason why people still think Philly fans are assholes because we threw snowballs at a drunken Santa 60, 70 years ago. Like,
yeah.
Dude, seriously, man. Last but not least, expansion drafts on Friday.
Who are we protecting is the question. Bigger question. Who are we leaving unprotected?
I think I know homegrowns are exempt. I know that they don't have to.
The question is, like, do you leave Bedoya unprotected knowing no one's going to pick him because he's 35?
No, I think you
really think Snow would pick him up?
It's a weird, like, I think someone, it's so, because, like,
the way I look at it, that's a great player to just build a culture with.
That's the thing. You look at a Dax McCarty, like I think that's
who would pick him? Like St. Louis, like that would be. But at the same time, like the way St. Louis is running their club, like I don't know they pick him.
But I think
wild,
if you're gonna leave anyone unprotected,
Corey.
Nah, I think it's gonna be like a Jesus Bueno.
I was gonna say for sure Bueno's gonna
be. I think you look at some of your outside player. Like, do you leave a Matt Real?
No, you don't. You definitely cannot leave Matt Real unprotected. Also, he's
homegrown. What else are you gonna do?
Doesn't matter. He's homegrown.
That's right.
Wow, that is a thing.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of.
But also, you can't leave him unprotected because if Kai's not here, we don't have a left back. So,
but what if you're like FC Dallas and your roster majority homegrowns?
Shit, that's a good question.
Maybe you only get like 6 to protect.
I thought it was like
after a certain age, it's like
were exempt, but
like after a certain age, it's like okay, now you're a professional player.
Yeah, you got like Paul Areola as a homegrown. You're like he's like 30 years old. Yeah, you can't take him. He's a homegrown dude.
Well, I think for the purposes of that, he's not a homegrown for Dallas.
No, I know. I was just an example. Yeah. But, do you guys see Fafa's going to Nashville?
I saw that for 100,000 for that's. I mean,
a good deal.
I like
man.
that for Fafa, man.
I think that means that they have to be going back to a more the traditional 4-2-3-1 that they've been playing.
Fafa and Mukhtar's can be disgusting, guys.
Wait, hold on a second. Speed, man. Why is Mukhtar not getting talked about going overseas? He's had 2 insane years in a row.
I don't know. I mean, that is a surprise.
I'm surprised
the
like player in the league.
I'm surprised German clubs aren't sniffing around him.
He's the best player in the league.
We'll talk about that when we can talk about Andre Blake going to the Premier League.
Yeah, but that's different because he's like he's the nation thing.
Yeah, but now
they can. They're now in the top 50.
But now what is he? How old is he? 31?
He's like, I think he's like 30. Or
is goalkeepers is different, but like at the same time, like
I just want
could you imagine,
bro?
Hold on, but like could you imagine if like we did sell him in January? Like that would be really bad.
Dude, I listen, you know me, Matt Freeze, he's ready. But
I think he's ready too, but at the same time, he's not Andre.
Yeah, Andre Blake is Andre Blake.
You're not going to replace Andre Blake.
That's right.
That's never gonna happen. But I mean,
I
I
also
just
don't think at this point I don't know if he wants to go.
no, dude, no. Everyone listened to the Hercules Gomez interview with Andre Blake. Hercules asked him, Andre does want to go, but you know how he is. He's extremely focused, and his priority is the Philadelphia Union. But I mean, dude, you could tell he wants to still go, and it is what it is. I mean, at this point, Europe's seen enough. I mean, dude, the dude's been balling out here in the United States. He deserves an opportunity, but I mean, you got Matt Turner going over there, Zach Steffen going there, and Andre Blake has outdone them here in this league. So
It'll be really interesting that, like, if offers do start coming in, like,
you got to do it, man. I don't care what time
no,
of the
I
year.
agree because he'll go for a lot. Like, he'll be like an $8 to $10 million buy, but it'll just suck.
That's true, man. That is true, guys. Before we head out, any last thoughts? Obviously, this is the final season episode. Anything you guys want to say to listeners, personally, or anything from Saturday? Anything in general, Zach? Anything you want to say before we sign off for the 2022 season?
Stay positive.
Ah.
Like the players you like, even if I tell you they stink. You're allowed to like whoever you want. That's on you. I listen. I might tell you they stink, and I might say they stink, but that doesn't mean you have to think they stink.
Okay.
And that's the end of that. Like, I don't like Brujo. If you like Brujo, that's fine. I won't understand it, but it's fine. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. Also, be on the lookout for World Cup coverage. I think I'm going to do a match day review for every match day on YouTube.
Wow. Okay.
I think because my class ends the day the World Cup starts, so I won't have school anymore. So I'll have plenty of time to be doing all that.
We got the Labasso bomb right there. Okay.
Well, and if anyone out there is doing World Cup podcasts, hit me up on Twitter and I'll be on if you want. So
at ZLobe 098. Make sure you guys go check him out. Make sure you hit him up. Justin, anything you want to say to our listeners personally? Saturday? Anything?
I think I said all I want to say about Saturday. It sucked. It was a lot of emotions. I cried. I laughed. I screamed my lungs out. It was wild. To everyone who I've seen, I've interacted with, online, who has seen me at the Sons of Ben tailgates, who has seen me, in the stadium on away trips, or my, all the away fans I've met through, some good friends. My friend John in Nashville, our good buddy Matt Sia, who is one of the nicest people on the planet, and everyone who said hi to me through whatever reasons, through either sporting serotonin or just recognizing me from the tailgates. All the Sons of Ben members who thought, who thought so highly of me to vote me into a board position. Thanks to everyone. This has been, as I always say, it's been a wild ride, and I've been a soccer fan pretty much my whole life, and I've been a Union fan since the beginning. It has meant the absolute world to me that I get to watch the team I love. Talking with the people who I've come to know as very good friends over the years. The sport and everything about the sport has meant a lot to me, and I just want to thank everybody who's interacted with me. Just giving this this Paul Jew a reason to to get out of the bed in the morning and be positive. But yeah, I'll be around for the World Cup. Whatever happens, I'll be watching and getting ready for the off season rush and all of my new duties to come January 1st as a board member. So it's gonna be wild, but thanks to everybody. It's been a hell of a season, and I can't ask for much more.
Absolutely, man. I mean, everyone kind of knows, Philly sports is my thing. It's my love. It's my passion. I had a question asked to me the other night. It's like, hey, you cover Philly sports, but like, are the Union your favorite? And I like didn't even hesitate. I was like, yeah, it really is. And I think for me, seeing where this club has come from 2010 until now, I think that's what makes it so special. From my first trip to Subaru Park, which back then was Talent Energy, back in 2017, till going to Subaru Park for an Eastern Conference Finals, I have a home. I have a family, and especially the guys you see on this podcast every single week. These guys motivate me so much, and is a big part of what I try to do. And I've really been grateful for everyone that's been listening. Dude, we've got a lot of love over this past year, man. We did a great. Tim's been killing it with we really got to get a lot of love to Tim, man. He's been killing it with the game day coverage. And people have been seeing the pod, and people have been coming here interacting. Look at the comment section. There's some great comments. There's some great people coming in here and talking to us. And to David Day's point, being able to collab with the Soccer Cooligans and to the Shoulder podcast and all these great podcasts and content creators we've been able to collab with, it is truly special, man. We're obviously not going to go anywhere. Zach's going to be all into his World Cup, and Justin is going to do some behind the scenes stuff with Sons of Ben, which is really, really important. I'm really proud of what Justin's doing over there, and me, I don't sleep, man. Philly sports don't sleep, and I don't either. So, and listen, Timmy boy, dude, I wish I could hug him right now, man. Tim has been killing it with the articles, man. So please, guys, keep showing support and some love. But guys, we're gonna keep doing all season coverage. We'll talk about. We'll see what that schedule is gonna look like. We're trying to get you guys again. An episode a week. We'll try to do that. We're going to also try to get some interviews with other Union content creators, players, etc., fans. We want to just get a lot of interviews and a lot of concept episodes as well. Zach brought up a good point about pro rel. We can always debate that and talk about that. So you guys let us know what you want to see as well. This is a podcast for the people, by the people. So you guys already know. But guys, 2022, we were almost there.
What a ride! Honestly, it's like it just kept going up and up and up, and yeah, we hit that wall. But man, I'm ready to to go for another ride next season.
Let's go, guys! All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of DOOP by the River. Thank you so much for tuning on in. Of course, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe for all of your future DOOP by the River viewings. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us wherever you stream podcasts from Apple, Google, and Spotify. Find us under DOOP by the River Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Zach Labasso. That is Justin, USMT Couchkeeper Friedberg. Of course, I am El Parcero Philly. We're telling you guys to DOOP on. Talk to you guys.